If you're in sales, you know that feeling, right? That constant pressure to hunt for new business. It never stops. But what if the whole thing, from finding prospects all the way to closing the deal, could be, well, simpler? Today, we're going to tear down the core framework from Mike Weinberg's game-changing book, New Sales Simplified. This is all about getting rid of the noise and focusing on what actually works to land new customers.
Let's just start right here with this quote, because it gets to the absolute heart of the problem. Prospecting. That one word, for so many of us, it just triggers this instant anxiety. It feels like a chore, something we'd rather put off. And Weinberg just calls it out immediately. That fear, it's real. Doesn't matter if you're brand new or a 20-year vet. It's the one part of the job that so many people absolutely dread.
So how do we justify not doing it? Well, there's this really convenient myth floating around, this idea of sales 2.0. Social media, inbound marketing, the idea that you don't have to proactively hunt anymore because customers will just find you. But here's the reality check from Weinberg. That is a dangerous, dangerous fantasy. All that new tech? It's an amazing supplement, for sure, but it is absolutely not a replacement for the core fundamental skill of proactively going out and finding new business. Okay, so if the fundamentals are still king, why are so many salespeople really struggling to bring in new clients? Well, Weinberg says it's not some big unsolvable mystery. It's actually a pattern of very specific, and this is the good news, very correctable bad habits. In the book, he identifies what he calls the not-so-sweet 16. Yep, you heard that right. 16 common, totally predictable reasons that salespeople fail when it comes to developing new business. He lays it all out like a diagnostic checklist, so you can literally go down the list and see exactly where things might be going off the rails for you. Now, we can't get into all 16, but just look at a few of these. This is what's so powerful. They're so relatable, right? You've got babysitting existing accounts. That's spending all your time with customers who already love you instead of hunting for new ones. Or how about having a pitiful phone effort? Where you look busy at your desk, but you're not actually making calls. But my personal favorite, and the one we're going to look at closer, is becoming a prisoner of hope.
This concept just nails a super common trap. Picture this. You've got a couple of decent deals in your pipeline, and you get so fixated on them, so hopeful they'll close that you just stop. You stop all other prospecting, you just sit there refreshing your email, waiting, becoming a prisoner to the hope that those deals come through. Of course, while you're waiting, your pipeline completely dries up, and if those big deals fall apart, you're left with absolutely nothing.
Okay, enough about the problems. Let's talk about the solution. Weinberg lays out this beautifully simple three-part framework that he calls the new sales driver. And this is the engine that will consistently win you new business. And here it is. It's not complicated. It's not some crazy algorithm. It is a simple, logical process. Step 1, you strategically select your targets. Who are you going after? Step 2, you create and deploy your sales weapons. We're talking your story, your emails, your phone calls. And step 3, you plan and execute the attack. It is genuinely that straightforward. Now, this is a really bold statement. Weinberg is basically saying that this isn't just some nice little model. It's a full-on diagnostic tool. If you are failing to get new business, the root cause of that failure is always hiding in one of these three parts. You've either picked the wrong targets, your weapons are weak, or your plan for executing is broken. Period. So let's zoom in on part 2 of that framework. Creating and deploying your weapons, because Weinberg argues that your single most powerful weapon, the one that makes or breaks everything else, is a compelling, client-focused sales story.
This slide right here says it all. Just look at the difference. The weak story is all about you. We do this, we're the best, we have great quality. Honestly, nobody cares. It's just noise. A strong story, on the other hand, completely flips the script. It's all about them. It starts with the pains they're feeling, the opportunities they're trying to grab. It's about their world, not your company's history.
And building this story is as simple as 1, 2, 3. But the order is absolutely non-negotiable. You must lead with the client's issues, the problems you solve for them. Once you've proven that you understand their world, then you can briefly talk about your offerings and what makes you the best choice. If you lead with their pain, you earn the right to talk about your solution.
Okay, so you've picked your targets, you've crafted an amazing sales story. Now for the final piece, the part where, let's be honest, most people fall down, the execution. This is where all that great strategy slams into the reality of a busy workday.
Absolutely love this quote because it's just so painfully true. Think about it. We default to checking email. We default to putting out fires, doing paperwork, being a good corporate citizen. We get busy being busy.
Nobody ever just accidentally starts prospecting. It has to be deliberate. It has to be intentional.
So how do you force yourself to do it? With the single most important tactic in the entire book, time blocking. And listen, this is way more than just a to-do list item. This is about scheduling a formal, fixed, unbreakable appointment with yourself, right there in your calendar, that is dedicated only to prospecting.
And making this work really comes down to 3 simple rules. First, you have to actually put it in your calendar, like a real appointment. Prospecting block, Tuesday, 9 to 11 a.m. Second, and this is the hard part, you have to keep the appointment. You have to treat that time as sacred, just as important as a meeting with your biggest client. And third, you have to ruthlessly protect that time from any and all distractions. That means no email, no chatty coworkers, nothing that isn't about finding new business.
So there you have it, a simplified, powerful framework for winning new sales. Select your targets, sharpen your story, and then plan your attack by blocking out the time to actually do it. The model itself is simple, but putting it into practice, that takes discipline. Which really leaves us with just one last question. You have the framework now, so what's the one thing you're going to do in the next 24 hours to put it into action?